Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, hey. When the world's pitch black, they bring the spark. Michael stands with sword and shield, breaking the dark. Wings of heaven's fire, he's our warrior king. Shining Yah's glory whenever he takes wing. Gabriel's the herald, echoing God's plan. Good news he declares to every woman and man. Voices like thunder, truth in every line, proclaiming Yah's word till the end of time. Yah's angels testify, testify. Yah's angels testify. Heaven's mighty hosts light up the sky, light up the sky, light up the sky. Oh my, oh my. Yah's angels testify. Shut it up, no. Yah's angels testify. Oh, heaven's mighty hosts light up the sky. Oh my, light up the sky. Oh my, oh my. Raphael the healer, hands touch the blind, binding every wound, restoring heart and mind. Uriel the light bearer, unveiling every lie, bearing flame of wisdom under Yah's vast sky. They serve the Most High, run his errands each day, guarding every step when we walk in his way. No enemy too strong when they hold the line. Yah's angels march with us by design. Who his angels he charged with care to guard you in all your ways. Go angels shine, reveal his grace. Angels rise, display his face. Yah's angels testify. Yah's angels testify. Hearts of heaven light up the sky, light up the sky. Oh my, oh my. Yah's angels on the move, from a move, releasing power from above. Yah's angels in the groove, proclaiming Yah's perfect love. Yah's angels never fade. Yah's angels never fade. Heaven's mighty hosts. Yah's angels never fade. Yah's angels never fade. Yah's angels testify. Yah's angels testify. Heaven's mighty host light up the sky, light up the sky, light up the sky. Oh my, oh my.
Shalom, family. Good to see you here. Hope you're all doing well. Well, look like they may be making a move on Venezuela, y'all. This don't look good at all. The US pretty much have them surrounded down there. And Donald Trump for weeks have been talking about doing a ground invasion on Venezuela, and it looked like it's about to go down. And it is just like the US to always pick on a smaller country. But what they fail to realize is the US don't win wars. They didn't win Afghanistan. They didn't win Iraq. You were just over there occupying and taking up space, but they didn't really truly win over there. And in all honesty, I don't know what they're going to do with Venezuela. They may be smaller, but don't assume they're not going to fight back if you step on the ground, and they're going to fight back. But the US is going to be the bully that it's always been. So I'm going to let you listen to some of the updates on what's going on. And it just seems like really soon something's going to happen. They're going to attack those folks and they're going to try to go in there on ground because that's really what Donald Trump wants more than anything. And I just hope there's not a lot of casualties, but more than likely it will be. Yeah, I mean, the US ain't going to win nothing. And remember, the US, nothing good is going to happen for you. Look at what you did. You tried to hide all the honors of Black soldiers. You kicked out Black soldiers for razor bumps. See, when you do ugly things, nothing good is coming your way. Don't expect good results when you do ugly things. You removed Black soldiers from war memorials. Okay? See, when you do stuff like that, just before this ground invasion or whatever you got planned, oh no. See, don't expect good things to happen because they won't. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Okay, hold on one second here. All right, here we go. Okay. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Right. And they also use the DEI excuse to, also with the military. That's why I said you can't do all this stuff and then expect to come out winning everything. You won't. Thank you, everybody.
Breaking news. We have a massive escalation developing right now between the United States and Venezuela that is going to shake up the entire region. President Donald Trump just took to social media to declare that Venezuela is now, quote, completely surrounded. In a dramatic move designed to cripple the nation's already struggling economy, Trump has ordered an immediate and total naval blockade targeting all oil tankers attempting to enter or leave Venezuelan waters. This aims to effectively choke off the regime's primary financial lifeline and main source of global revenue. But the administration didn't stop there. In an unprecedented step that drastically raises the stakes, the U.S. has officially designated the currently ruling Venezuelan regime as a foreign terrorist organization. This is an absolute game changer that opens up significant new legal avenues for sanctions and aggressive actions against anyone caught doing business with them. Tensions were already at an all-time high, but this three-pronged attack pushes the situation into totally uncharted territory.
We have some news right now. Donald Trump has ordered a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers coming out of Venezuela, saying that he is demanding a return to the United States of all oil, land, and other assets that Venezuela previously stole from us. In YouTruth Social post, he says that Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger, and the shock to them will be like nothing they have ever seen before. Until such time as they return to the United States of America, all of the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us. And he goes on to say that a total and complete blockade of all oil sanctions, oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. This war, this possible war, is all about oil. And now it seems like a potential land grab for the United States as well. What land in Venezuela does the United States want? That's a real question. Spread the word. Follow along, stay update on all the news you need to know about. More to come soon.
U.S. warships are surrounding Venezuela and Trump's ready to declare war. Trump claims that Venezuela is stealing oil from America as well as our land and resources. So as a result, Trump is having the Navy SEALs attack Venezuelan oil tankers. He has now surrounded Venezuela with warships saying no oil will come in or go out.
How are they stealing our oil?
Trump said that under the Biden administration, he's allowed Venezuela over the years to take all of our oil and land. So it's time for us to get it back from them. Because he claims Venezuela is using that oil to make more illegal substances to traffic into the U.S. So he's just protecting America.
But he pardoned the Honduran president that trafficked over 400 tons of cocaine into America. So this has nothing to do with it.
You're wrong because Trump said Biden illegally targeted him. So he only pardoned him to do what's right. Along with Venezuela, he's also threatening to go after Colombia next for manufacturing cocaine. It's time for world peace.
You can't just accuse countries of doing something and then declare war on them with no proof or evidence.
But Trump said Venezuela is the largest manufacturer of fentanyl, destroying hundreds of thousands of American lives every single day. So doesn't that mean they are the culprit?
Actually, the majority of those substances come from the Mexican border, but we're attacking Venezuela, who happens to have the largest oil supply in the world.
I know we hated war for war and attacked Biden for helping people. Trump said war is okay now, war is okay. War is okay now, war is okay. War is okay now, war is okay.
Hello, everyone. Amanda Grace here. So Tuesday, President Donald Trump ordered a total blockade of oil tankers entering or leaving Venezuela, declaring the Maduro regime a foreign terrorist organization and accusing it of stolen U.S. assets to finance terrorism, trafficking, and other criminal activity. And President Trump stated Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. The timing of this, given all the global attacks happening, is not a coincidence. But I want to read to you the words from the Lord having to do with this. So we're going to go all the way back to 2020 and work our way up. December 18th, 2020. Moses, who came to me, the Lord God Adonai, and took the crisis to me. And I, the Lord God, entered to challenge Pharaoh in his legitimacy to ownership of Israel. And I, the Lord, caused a
Donald Trump is now claiming Venezuela is in possession of stolen land from the U.S. as justification of going to war. Now, if you missed it tonight, Donald Trump took to Truth Social to announce a blockade, naval blockade of Venezuela, saying Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger until such time as they return to the United States of America all oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us. Venezuela stole land from the United States. This guy is completely off his rocker, and now it's getting dangerous because he's using his imagination to justify going to war with Venezuela. Now, a naval blockade is generally considered an act of war and would typically require Congress's approval, but Donald Trump doesn't play by those rules. But the real question is here, what is Donald Trump doing, and where are the people around him? Where is Susie Wiles stepping in when he has the personality of an alcoholic? This is a dangerous time for America, and we need some serious intervention.
Just breaking right now across the wires, President Trump is ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela, saying that the armada around Venezuela will only get bigger, and that the Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization. Crossing on all the wires coming from the Trump administration and the president himself, a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers into Venezuela. As we look at some of those drug boat takeouts, that's a significant move around the country of Venezuela.
Yeah, I mean, Brett, it's incredibly disturbing. I think this is why you're seeing members of Congress on both sides of the aisle coming forward and saying, you know, we need to understand a little bit more about what the posture is and what the reasoning and rationale is. It's one of the reasons why we have, checks and balances in this country, and why the legislative branch is so involved when there is a decision to go to potentially invade or, even potentially go to war with another country. So lots of questions here. I think that President Trump, I know he's speaking to the country tomorrow night, addressing the nation. I think it's very important that he be transparent with the American people as to why he's doing this. And, I think a lot of people are asking questions. Are we going to actually go into war with Venezuela? More questions here than we have answers.
Yeah, Ari, the president is saying, and maybe tomorrow night in his primetime address, which you'll see here on Fox, he's going to get into this. Some of the specifics, it's not that we don't hear from this president a lot. We hear from him a lot on a lot of moves, but tonight he's saying this blockade, I mean, it's a significant move.
Yeah, I think for most of the American people, everything vis-a-vis Venezuela is unexplained. I don't think the American people understand or know, have probably never even heard of him for the most part, Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, and what's wrong with him? What's our beef with him? What's our beef with Venezuela? President Trump hasn't explained it thoughtfully to the American people. So it's a lot of tough, knee-jerk action that's pretty good against drugs. I support it. The action against the tankers. In most cases, well, in the case previously, that was under a warrant, and that tanker was an unauthorized tanker. It wasn't even flagged, which is a violation of international law. So he has good reasons, but he's not explaining them. And I think if he wants the support of the American people for another foreign venture, he needs to explain it.
Yeah, Meredith, I mean, right now they're forecasting that tomorrow's primetime speech is going to be kind of the hits up until this point, but I assume it'll be some of this as well.
Yeah, I think people are looking for answers on many fronts. And, you know, we're getting to the time of the year. It's about 1 year into Trump's first year here back in the White House. And the White House wants to look ahead to the midterms. They want to talk about the economy and what they're trying to do here. But what we've seen more recently is a lot of distractions, whether it's this Vanity Fair article or even the president's comments about Rob Reiner yesterday that were really disturbing to a lot of people on the Hill.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.
So United States is surrounding Venezuela because of DRUGS, and to keep them from coming into the country or whatever. All right, cool. So then I went to, because I always thought, I'm like, is it Mexico and Colombia? Isn't that where they're coming from? I've never heard Venezuela. So I went to Google and I typed in like the top countries that, you know, import that here. And Venezuela is not even in the top 10. So top 2, Mexico and Colombia. So what are we doing in Venezuela? Somebody explain it to me. I mean, maybe there's a reason, and maybe Google's wrong, but usually it's pretty dead on. But, well, why Venezuela? I can't figure that out. Somebody let me know.
Hey, the U.S. is about to drop bombs on Venezuela's mainland. See this right here? These are EA-18G Growlers. It's a craft based off the F-18, but it doesn't use weapons. It uses electronic jamming capabilities to literally block radar systems so strike aircraft have a clear passage to go through. Now, if you think these are going to be used against literal fishing boats or even some legitimate drug boats in the ocean, you're mistaken. This is so craft can just fly right through, drop some things, and fly right back out and never be seen. Trump said he was thinking about doing some ground strikes, and what better way than use a pair of EA-18G Growlers to literally clear a way for ground strikes? We're about to be at war over false pretenses once again, and the American people are extremely tired.
Tuesday evening, December 16th, Trump's latest rant less than an hour ago claims he surrounded Venezuela with the largest armada ever. His goal is to take back all of the oil and land that they stole from us. They stole our oil? Maybe, but our land? What land? We don't share anything resembling a border. The closest thing we have is Puerto Rico, which is 600 miles away. Mainland Florida is almost 2,000 miles away. What land could they have stolen from us?
Developing this morning, the U.S. military has significantly increased its presence surrounding Venezuela after President Trump ordered a blockade preventing sanctioned oil tankers used to fund terrorist organizations from entering the country. The U.S. also officially designated dictator Nicolas Maduro's regime a foreign terrorist organization. In a post online, President Trump wrote, "The illegitimate Maduro regime is using oil from these stolen oil fields to finance themselves, drug terrorism, human trafficking, murder, and kidnapping. America will not allow criminals, terrorists, or other countries to rob, threaten, or harm our nation."
Donald Trump believes that Venezuela is an island, at least according to his newest Truth Social post about the country, when he said it's now surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. In modern times, that actually goes to the British, who brought in over 120 warships to the Falkland Islands during that war in the 80s. But back to this. Donald Trump is blockading Venezuela, and all sanctioned oil vessels. Now, those are vessels that would be transiting to or from sanctioned countries, countries the US or our allies have placed sanctions on. Russia, North Korea, Iran, even Venezuela. Usually we let these vessels transit freely. We might intercept one or two a year because it's good for the oil industry to just let them continue to transit around the world. The rest of Donald Trump's post goes on to claim that this oil is being used to steal land from the United States, to rob from the United States and everything else, which is all just blatantly false. Venezuela has taken nothing from us. And Donald Trump's rhetoric about the Maduro regime and Venezuela has only escalated since Machado won the Nobel Peace Prize, called Donald Trump, said Donald Trump should have won it instead of her, and they had a lengthy discussion. Apparently, Machado, the resistance leader in Venezuela, fluffed Donald Trump's ego just enough that he now feels like he needs to repay her by removing the Maduro regime and placing her in power.
All right, y'all. So that is the update on this. And we'll see what happens. But it looks like Donald Trump is about to do something crazy over there in Venezuela. And I have to agree. I don't know what land Venezuela took that belongs to the United States. If anything, Donald Trump, the people like you are the only ones, to my knowledge, that took land over here. So, anyway, y'all, that is the update. I have more coming tomorrow. I was watching Big Judah and he was talking about the radioactive fog. I have a lot more on that I'm going to be showing you tomorrow. Man, that stuff is bad. I have one where an airplane is flying over, where you can look down and see the fog, and some people actually driving through it. So I'll have a lot to show you tomorrow on that radioactive fog that's out there in California. And that's not a good sign. That means all it takes is some wind, and that will be traveling around the country. So we will talk about that a little more tomorrow. So, y'all, please enjoy the rest of your night. Again, you can still get a discount on your hair products, 30% off, lisacrafts.etsy.com. And make sure you get you get your orders in before the 24th, because that's when the 30% off will end. So everybody, please enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Shalom, family.